And we're back. If you have not watched the Raven credibility video, pause this video, go back, watch that video, then return here. All right. So at this point, you have now found at least one source. You've walked through the Raven credibility, and now it's time to see how you can turn that one source into multiple sources. So this is what we call a stretching your source activity. Because an important thing about research is you want to make sure that your research base is working for you to advance your argument in your attempt to persuade, not that you're pulling a bunch of disparate sources together and kind of slapping it all together into some kind of box checking activity. Because one thing that you will notice is once you start to work with these sources and you understand their relationship, it becomes very easy to take all the information that you glean from that and find a way to craft very solid persuasive arguments. This is a process called synthesis. This is a good introduction to really how you can make synthesis work, where you take your sources, you synthesize them together to make one coherent point. So in order to do this, what you'll need is you'll need a source A. So you'll need at least one source to actually work for. Now, you'll want to write down your research position at this point. Because it's a persuasive research, I'm going to go ahead and assume that all of you are walking in kind of with an idea that you want to advance about this issue. I don't think that anyone's really exploring something that they really know nothing about, so they're having to educate themselves about what the conversations about this issue is. Now, this is not what you're really going to want to do in more advanced research projects and opportunities, but for the purpose of this assignment, that's a pretty okay position to take. So instead of writing down a research question, you're going to be writing down a research position. So what are you actually exploring that you could actually persuade through the research? That just helps to keep you focused. So you'll start with source A. So you've already found a source through one of your databases. It's academic, it's peer reviewed, it passes the Raven smell test. So you're now going to write the full MLA citation for this source right here. Now, in the copy that you're going to get of this, an important thing to kind of do is this is a drawing that I kind of use for the template. You can actually go into the drawing and edit it. So remember that you can do that. You're not going to be able to just type directly onto this, but you can edit within the drawing. It's all going to be okay. So the good way to do that is just double click on that. It's going to bring the drawing up and see, now I can edit within this text box, and it's all sorts of fun stuff. Okay, so we'll save and close that. All right. So you write the MLA citation there. Now you move to source B. So this is how you start to stretch this out. So you go down to source A, and after you've read that, you go down and you read their works cited or their bibliography, and you find a source that was actually used to advance the research and or argument of that article, and then you go there. And then you read that source as well, because it was obviously good enough that source A wanted to cite it. So you'll read through there, provide the citation information, and then explain the relationship. And go further than just source A used source B, so the information is good. Talk about why the information was good for source A. This shows that you not only understand source A, but then you understand source B's relationship to it. Why this would have been a good source to actually use. And then that's also going to help you think about how you could maybe use this exact same source to bolster what source A is saying as well, or to improve another area of your argument. So that was the easy part as far as stretching your sources there. So you can always find this within at least one database from source A. Now, you're now going to move to source C. So you found what source A used, but let's see if source A has actually been used to advance conversations elsewhere. So for this, you're going to go to Google Scholar. Now, for the purposes of our assignment, Google Scholar is going to work because the only reason that you're going to use it is to build off of sources you've already found for the database. You're not just going to Google Scholar and typing things in willy-nilly. You've got databases for that. So the only thing that we should actually see that you're getting from Google Scholar are stuff that's born out of stuff you're already getting from your database. So anyway, for this, you go to Google Scholar. And here we're going to search up the Electoral College. I am recording this on November 3rd. So here, you're going to find all of your sources. And remember, you want to look over here to the right side, because this will also always give you full text articles that you're looking for. And remember, Google Scholar, by its algorithm, is pretty much all peer-reviewed articles that we're working for. But in all of these entries, you'll notice there's this cited by button. So you're going to click on this cited by, and that's going to bring you up all of the articles that have cited your initial article that you worked with. So here, I just kind of brought this to bring up, but you are actually going to search for source A, the title and the author here. So that's going to come up here on Google Scholar, and then you're going to find what it's cited by, and then you're going to read one of these. that cited your initial source. And then you're going to explain why the information from the initial source went into source C there. So again, you're understanding that relationship. Now, this is one that might be a little difficult for some, but generally you can find this. For source A, for the most part, if they're experts in the field, if these are people that are passing the Raven smell test, they're not talking about a wide variety of issues. They're talking about kind of one issue. So they'll come back to this issue again and again as more and more research happens, or more and more research is found, or they even conduct more research. So they will probably have written something else about the topic initially found in source A. So go digging. You can go through Google Scholar, you can go through databases, go digging for this author. What else have they been doing with this same sort of topic of interest? And then you'll find that article, again, MLA citation, and then you'll explain that relationship between source A and source D as well. What is different about source A and source D? What is building off of each other? What are different understandings that are showing up as this author has evolved in their thinking? These relationships that you're going to discuss will help you understand this author's thinking as well. So if you do this, as you can find, you will have turn one source into four, all of which are giving you more nuanced and deeper looks at your initial research position. So if you want to really build a solid research base to show your understanding, which is crucial, if you want to persuade people to your point, you have to show that you fully understand the issue and you can explain it to anyone like they were five. This is the way to do it, to build up your knowledge for what to do. So as you work through research, continue to work through your databases, make sure that you're checking everything with a Raven credibility, but then use this technique to build yourself the best possible research base that you can to support your persuasive argument.